Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The most obvious proof of this came during the highly anticipated tell-all special, when Robyn and Kody expertly danced around direct questions, avoided accountability, and provided vague, scripted responses that fostered suspicion rather than providing clarification. From the host's initial question, regarding Kody's worsening relationships with his older children, to the heated conversation about Robyn's alleged manipulation and favoritism, both Kody and Robyn sounded defensive, secretive, and emotionally reserved. Kody's usual confidence gave way to a tightly controlled narrative in which he repeatedly deflected blame, pointed fingers at emotional damage caused by his ex-wives, and used ambiguous terminology like trying his best and being misunderstood. Robyn, on the other hand, embraced her distinctive tearful image, although her tears lacked sincerity this time. Her emotional breakdowns felt strangely out of place, as if they were intended to end the discourse rather than develop it. Observers saw she frequently repeated the same few phrases. "I just want peace. This is so hard. I never wanted this," while failing to accept responsibility for the choices and behaviors that many fans believe contributed significantly to the family's disintegration. When the reporter pressed Robyn on whether she had imposed herself too aggressively into the family dynamic, or whether she had been overly favored by Kody, her tone changed abruptly. Instead of responding directly, she felt obviously uncomfortable, moved the subject to her children's concerns, or stated that she did not want to speak on behalf of others. Kody, for his part, would swiftly step in to protect Robyn, deflecting questions and highlighting his irritation with Christine, Janelle, and even Mary, accusing them of manipulating the other kids against him. It was an apparent strategy: divert the narrative, villainize the ex-partners, and escape scrutiny at all costs. But the crowd weren't buying it. The tell-all was supposed to bring closure, a last unpacking of the emotional devastation that has marked the previous seasons. Instead, spectators were treated to a meticulously planned spectacle that raised more questions than it answered. One of the most alarming moments occurred when the interviewer inquired whether Kody and Robyn had explored adding another wife to the family, or if they were now functioning as a monogamous pair. This seemingly simple inquiry elicited an uneasy pause, nervous stares, and a cryptic response from Robyn, who stated, "I'm not closing any doors, but it's not my place to decide." Kody then stated that they were focused on healing, although he did not define whose healing he was referring to, his, Robyn's, or the children he has grown progressively distant from. The evasion was palpable. If they are no longer practicing multiple marriage, many wonder why Robyn is still referred to as the favorite wife, and why Kody continues to create the idea of a wider family unit. Another red flag appeared when the subject of financial transparency was brought up. With many women leaving and purportedly handing up portions of the common property at Coyote Pass, many expected the tell-all to focus on who owns what and what compensation, if any, was offered. Once again, Robyn and Kody avoided the problem. Robyn stated she doesn't know much about the finances, despite managing a household and having joint authority over shared assets with Kody. Kody, looking furious, deflected by saying it was a private family matter, and chastised the show's producers for inciting discord. But the avoidance simply reaffirmed what fans have long suspected. Robyn and Kody aren't being completely honest about what's happening on behind closed doors. Their failure to respond to difficult queries is motivated by control rather than privacy. By suppressing facts, they retain the ability to manipulate the story and protect their image, but this technique is unraveling quickly. What's more disappointing is that other cast members have been far more open. Christine, Janelle, and even Mary have shared genuine insights into their emotional journeys, including the grief, regret, and freedom that came with ending their relationships with Kody. Christine has spoken publicly about Kody's favoritism and how it affected her self-worth. Janelle has faced the problems of financial independence after the breakup, while Mary has now admitted how lonely and unsupported she felt for years. These women aren't flawless, but their candor appeals to people who see themselves reflected in the effort to restore identity, dignity, and peace. Meanwhile, Robyn remains hidden under a layer of selective vulnerability. She tears, but her responses disclose nothing. She expresses sadness but never admits her role in the family's deterioration. When asked about the controversial incident in which she informed Christine that the other women gave up too easily, Robyn backtracked, claiming she didn't mean it that way, and that it was taken out of context. This inability to stand by her own comments, along with the repeated gaslighting of the audience, many of whom seen the film firsthand, has corroded any sympathy viewers once had for her. Kody, too, seemed to be living in a version of reality that only he understand. When asked if he regrets how he handled his older children, especially the devastating alienation from boys like Garrison and Gabriel, Kody refused to apologize or show any remorse. Instead, he called them ungrateful and manipulated by their mothers. That single moment summed up the entire problem. Rather than reflecting, learning, or growing, Kody and Robyn have doubled down on denial, denial, denial. And the fans have noticed. After the tell-all aired, thousands of people took to social media to vent their fury, incredulity, and disgust. The most popular sentiment was, "They're clearly hiding something." Reddit forums were swamped with hypotheses, ranging from covert property deals to Kody and Robyn's gradual transition to monogamy to legal maneuvering involving custody or inheritance. Some have even argued that the pair is purposefully avoiding tough questions in order to prolong their contract with TLC, knowing full well that controversy keeps the cameras going and the cash coming. The assumption that the tell-all was not truly a tell-all, but rather a tightly orchestrated public relations operation, has many fans bitter. Viewers who have committed more than a decade in the Brown family tale feel cheated, not because the relationships failed, but because the remaining participants are no longer playing fairly. If Kody and Robyn want to remain the show's key players, they owe the audience more than crocodile tears and enigmatic responses. They owe the truth. The hypocrisy is astounding. Kody once chastised his ex-wives for hiding information or being uncooperative, and now he's aggressively evading the most basic inquiries regarding his involvement in the family's demise. Robyn initially professed to desire to be a part of a strong sisterhood and support network, but she has frequently separated herself and shown little effort in healing relationships with the other women. At every turn, the couple chooses opacity above honesty, and their refusal to confront difficult truths only adds to the public's distrust. Perhaps the most terrifying moment of the entire tell-all was near the end, when the presenter softly asked Kody, "If you could go back and do anything differently, what would it be?" After a long pause, Kody just stated, "I trusted the wrong people," which many saw as yet another passive-aggressive blow at his ex-wives. There was no reflection, no recognition of his own failings, and certainly no empathy for the agony his children displayed on film. Robyn sat alongside him, nodding solemnly but saying nothing. The silence was terrible. Instead of using the tell-all to confront the damage done, begin rebuilding shattered relationships, or accept any sort of responsibility, the couple decided to retreat deeper into their defensive bubble. They didn't just sidestep questions. They appeared to assume they were above answering them. The message they communicated was clear. They don't owe the public the truth, and they'll only disclose what fits their carefully manufactured story. But Sister Wives was founded on the promise of honesty. It garnered a devoted following because it dared to depict the complexities of family life, the joys and tragedies of plural marriage, and the courage required to live genuinely. Robyn and Kody betrayed not just their fellow cast members, but also the spirit of the show, by choosing spin over sincerity. The audience does not expect perfection. Rather, they seek honesty. And unless Robyn and Kody are willing to stop concealing, evading, and confronting the truth, they will continue to lose the one thing reality stars cannot afford to lose: their viewers' confidence.